Big news coming out of Washington today. President-elect Donald Trump gave his complete and total endorsement to House Speaker Mike Johnson, writing on Truth Social, quote, "The American people need immediate relief from all of the destructive policies of the last administration. He will do the right thing, and we will continue to win." President Trump is putting his trust in Mike Johnson and looking to avoid a contentious speaker battle, so the president-elect can hit the ground running on January 20th with Speaker Johnson's help. Joining us now with more, the man himself, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Mr. Speaker, thank you for joining me.
Hey, Kellyanne, Happy New Year and congrats to Sean and Ainsley. It's exciting news.
Absolutely. Sir, so to become Speaker again or to remain Speaker, it's not a matter of biology or chemistry or art, it's math. Do you have the votes?
I think we do, Kellyanne. I'm really humbled and honored to have President Trump's endorsement for Speaker again. He and I work so well together, so closely together, and we have a lot of big things to do. He recognizes that what we need right now, I think my colleagues recognize this as well, is a proven fighter and a true MAGA conservative, but also someone who can work with every single member of our very diverse House GOP so that we can get President Trump's priorities over the line. That's what's ahead of us. I think this could be the most consequential presidency and Congress of the modern era because we have to fix everything, and it has to start on day one, so we can't waste any time.
And Mr. Speaker, in 2017, I went to the White House, and on day one, I noticed we had a 35-seat majority for Republicans in the House of Representatives. And yet, even with plus 35, you have a plus a handful. It was so difficult to repeal and replace Obamacare, to get infrastructure passed. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act got signed into law in December, not March, because there was some resistance in the ranks. So it sounds like you have a handle on unifying a very diverse coalition. What do you think the first 3-4 major priorities for the America First agenda could actually pass the House and go to the Republican Senate majority first couple of weeks?
Well, we have to do a number of things simultaneously. The budget reconciliation process is going to be the key of the first 100 days because in order to fix all the things that we've got to fix, we have to squeeze a lot of policy changes through that process. And not to get too deep in the weeds, but why that's so valuable is it avoids the 60-vote threshold that's necessary in the Senate under normal circumstances. So we can move the Republican agenda, the American First agenda, through reconciliation, but it takes a lot of coordination, planning, and executing those plans with precision to get that done. And so you'll see a lot of energy on that. We're going to fix the border. We are going to get the economy humming again. We are going to restore our stature on the world stage, get our energy policy fixed, make sure that we don't have the largest tax cut in U.S. history imposed upon the American people at the end of next year when the tax cuts from the Trump era expire. So a lot of big agenda items on the table, and you're right, it's going to take a lot of work to build a consensus among all the Republicans to get it done, but I'm absolutely convinced that we can. We're going to stay unified, and we are going to get this job done.
One of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard said about President Trump is that he wants to surround himself with yes men and yes women. I know that's not true. Obsequiousness bores him. He likes for people to give him a multitude of opinions, and of course he makes the final decision. It was his name on the ballot, sweeping victory, all 7 swing states, a popular vote. The country looks very red. Mr. Speaker, I think that's an important point moving forward. The fealty, the loyalty is not to a man or even a political party, it's to the agenda. And so for some of those holdouts, for Thomas Massey, who said he's not going to vote for you, for Victoria Spartz, who gave you a list of demands today, for maybe Chip Roy, what do you say about the America First agenda to them that they can glom onto rather than be, I think, disruptors and interrupters to getting a lot of this great policy through that Americans are relying upon?
Well, the 3 members you just named are all good friends of mine. I've spent a lot of time talking with each of them. I spoke with Victoria for about 45 minutes, about an hour and a half ago. I spoke with President Trump most recently about 15 minutes ago. We're in constant conversation about all this. I think that those members and all of them want to be a part of these solutions. They made big promises to their constituents in this campaign cycle, and we've got to deliver upon them now. It's the media and the left that wants to divide us and distract us. We can't fall into that trap. We've got to stay united, and if we do, we can bring about this America First agenda quickly and deliver for the American people so they see results very early in the year. We have a lot on our plate, but I'm confident we're going to be able to get it done. And I'm really grateful for the support across the spectrum in the House GOP and all the endorsements that have come forward. We're going to unite and get this thing done for the American people.
And you got the biggest endorsement of all in President-elect Trump, because he's signaling to everyone this is the way that we don't interrupt the momentum that's there, and that the policy agenda piece by piece gets implemented. You put it on his desk, he'll sign it, and it'll become law. Many more people will feel the relief. So, Mr. Speaker, in terms of energy independence, you mentioned that, in terms of border security, in terms of Tax Cut and Jobs Act, if those things don't happen, what do you see for the country? In other words, paint a bleak picture. If these things don't pass and people say it really doesn't matter who the president is, why does it matter if we have all three chambers now, if we have the House, the Senate, and the White House?
Well, this is a great blessing for America to have unified government. When you have Republicans in charge of all three of those levers of power, will actually be able to move this agenda. President Trump spoke to the American people directly, and what he said resonated with them because it was common sense. It's restoring America's greatness. It's things that all of us agree with. And, you know, you saw a demographic shift in the election cycle, Kellyanne. Large numbers, large groups of people who had not traditionally been with the Republican Party, at least not in a long time, because they believe in those ideas and those principles. So now's our opportunity to do it. If we don't, then the country that we know and love will not long survive. I mean, this truly is kind of an existential moment for the country. People recognize that in the election cycle, and they gave President Donald J. Trump 77 million votes. It was a landslide, a mandate, and we have to execute upon that mandate now. Now's our time.
The Republican Party, the America First movement, is growing, and with that comes some growing pains, no doubt. You mentioned a couple of key constituencies. The media, maybe they want to break us apart. Maybe they want to divide and conquer. Do you see any John Fettermans in the House of Representatives? Those Democratic elected officials, like Senator John Fetterman, freshman member of Pennsylvania, who basically is making joyful noises about the America First agenda, giving President Trump a chance, recognizing that President Trump won his state of Pennsylvania handily this time. Any Democrats you think you could start peeling off to make a difference for their constituents and put partisan politics aside?
Yeah, look, I hope so. I mean, our arms are open to anyone who wants to help us save the country. And these are policies, again, that are common sense, that the people favor. And I think a lot of our Democrat colleagues see that, particularly those who are elected in close districts and swing districts. I think they want to be a part of these solutions. And when you're in an era of small majorities, which we have now, I mean, we'll have a 1 or 2, 3-seat majority at any given time this year. We're certainly open to bipartisanship and having Democrats come along to help us. I think we are going to attract some of those. I think some of them may even be wondering whether or not they should switch parties right now. So this is a great time for the Republican Party, not a great time to be a Democrat. They're in total disarray. They have no leader and they have no vision going forward. So this is a real moment for us, and we're going to deliver.
Speaker Johnson, thank you so much. All the best. Happy, healthy New Year to Kelly and you. And since I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I have a feeling I'll be in New Orleans for the Super Bowl rooting on my team. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. God bless you. We'll see you on January 3rd.
Thanks, Kellyanne. Good to see you.